Welcome to the Cell Guru Show, and we've got some really cool stuff happening. So, every single time one of the super flagship iconic phones come about, whether it's an iPhone or something from Samsung, or like we have right now, something from Asus, the ROG series, it really is the start of the whole new thing all over again because, Asus really got this whole gaming phone platform started. They're the ones that realized that there is a market for high performance gamer phones and high performance phones just for everybody else. Then two new phones from Motorola are very, very interesting. Qualcomm segment and a whole lot more on Cell Guru. Let's get started. Our top story, the Asus ROG 5. This is the phone that got it all started. Asus started the entire idea of gaming in a phone, took it to all new levels from ROG 1 to 2 to 3 and now ROG 5. I'll tell you the big changes. Big change in audio. The 3.5mm headphone jack comes in. Lots of stuff they've done inside with the audio. Second is the screen. In collaboration with Samsung, they've taken the screen again to a whole new level. So, I've always enjoyed Asus ROG phones. When I come back, I'm going to answer that other big thing. And again, remember, it's just a first impression. I'm going to answer that other big question. If I am a gamer, of course you should buy it. If you're a non-gamer, should you buy this? Because this is great for the price.
In a world of similar looking smartphones and the same spec sheets, creating a truly unique phone is a big challenge. With the ROG Phone series, Asus has been building on its gaming pedigree to create the best gaming smartphone. Right on cue, we have the ROG Phone 5. It's fast, it's furious, it's got air triggers, it's got the latest processor and even a second screen at the back. But is it the ultimate gaming smartphone? We got the phone for a few days and here is our first impressions. From the front, it looks like any other Android phone. But the magic unfolds when you turn the phone around. One glance and you can see this phone is built for speed and performance. The ROG 5 is heavy at 236 gram, but the comfortable ergonomics make it easy to hold and game on for hours on end. We appreciated the clean 6.78-inch AMOLED display with full HD plus resolution. The display comes with a 144Hz refresh rate, but you need to turn that on if you want to use it. You will find the latest Corning Gorilla Glass Victus at the front for extra resilience, while Gorilla Glass 3 does duty at the back. For all its cutting-edge aesthetics, the back is a fingerprint magnet and super glossy. The RGB lighting and secondary display, however, are guaranteed to turn heads. Also on the back, you come across a triple camera setup consisting of a 64-megapixel primary camera and a 13-megapixel ultra-wide angle lens and a 5-megapixel macro camera. In our first impressions, the camera performed decently well. On the other hand, both portrait imaging and macro camera left much to be desired. There is a 24-megapixel front camera to capture your winning face after your next session. Asus ROG Phone 5 is powered by bleeding-edge Snapdragon 888 processor and comes with 12GB of RAM. We played Call of Duty and Genshin Impact, which left us impressed. Air triggers on the side of the phone further add to the immersiveness and give you an additional set of controls. For all the gaming enthusiasts, there is an Aeroactive Cooler 5 accessory that sits right on top of the SoC when attached. That additional cooling can eke out even more performance, though you will have to buy it separately. What comes in the box is a 30-watt fast charger. That said, the 6000 mAh battery, which is split into two cells of 3000 mAh each to help with fast charging and prevent the phone from heating up under load. Battery life is good enough for a full day of use. ROG 5 starts at Rs 49,999, going up to 57,999 for the top-end variant. The early verdict? Well, the ROG 5 is fantastic both on paper and in practice. Sure, it isn't going to win any award in the camera category, but it sure looks like a winner for all the smartphone gamers.
And now let's move on and talk to the man behind all of this from Asus. Dinesh, thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure having you on the show. I have to start off with 3 new ROG 5 phones. What happened to ROG 4?
So this year we are actually doing a major generational leap. Moving on from ROG Phone 3, the next range of phones that they're launching under the ROG Phone series have major differentiators as compared to the previous generation. So we've simply leaped over from 3 directly to 5.
So Dinesh, why 3 new ROG phones? I mean, is it a business strategy, differentiator?
It's actually, first of all, yes, a differentiator as well as a business strategy. We want to further see that, okay, like as we move to different segments, can we offer them something more differentiated than, just giving them a memory variant?
Dinesh, the world's first 18 GB phone, incredible, right? But some people would actually call it overkill. Do we need 18 GB RAM in a gaming phone?
Maybe not everybody will be able to kind of push those kind of limits of utilizing 18 gigs of RAM, but a few technophiles will be able to actually definitely look at, doing stuff which is crazy where you need very high capacity RAM.
Dinesh, one mystery, right? I mean, in the ROG 3, the 3.5mm headphone jack was missing. ROG 5, you brought it back. What's the mystery here?
ROG Phone 3, we've used the Snapdragon 865 plus 5G platform from Qualcomm. And the way 865 plus is structured is that you've got the CPU separate and you've got the modem function separate. So there are 2 separate chips. Okay, it's not an integrated SoC. Okay, so as a result of which it takes more space on the motherboard. But with the now ROG Phone 5 series moving to 888 processor of Qualcomm, here the SoC is an integrated SoC. So you've got both the modem and the processor on a single chipset. So you've got now more space inside the phone to get the 3.5mm jack back.
And Dinesh, last question. This is coming from more demand than anything else. A lot of people are saying now that you've established such a great brand as in a sub-brand ROG, why don't you take out a phone in the 20 to 30,000 variety with really, really amazing specs?
So when the time arrives, we will come up with a suitable option. But as of now, it's focused on the very premium end of the market where we are giving a product which is really superlative and probably better than the best out there.
So like I said, I'm going to now answer that big question, and that is, if you're a non-gamer, should you still be buying the ROG 5? Absolutely. I mean, think about it. Absolutely flagship and more specs at under 50,000 rupees. I mean, it's actually a bargain. Now let's move on to some more bargains, and those are from Motorola. 2 new G series phones, one under 10,000 rupees that has a 6,000 mAh battery, quad camera and very, very nice looking. The other one, just over 10,000 rupees, 64 megapixel with night vision.
The budget segment of smartphones is very saturated with top performers from Redmi, Poco and Realme. But whenever there is a new device in this price segment, we never complain because it gives us another chance to see just how good a smartphone is getting even at such low prices. In comes Motorola with its latest Moto G30 and Moto G10 Power. Let's talk about the Moto G30 first. For the price of 10,999 rupees, Motorola has bundled quite a few things in this device. The big highlight feature here is a 64MP quad camera system that can be pretty good in good light. We tried clicking some scenic shots and we were happy with the 64MP main sensor. There is an 8MP ultra-wide lens and we did see a drop in saturation, but the macro lens worked really well. On the front, the Moto G30 has a 13MP selfie shooter that clicks some decent looking portraits. Another standout feature is the 6.51-inch HD Plus display. We really liked that there is a 90Hz refresh rate on the G30. We liked watching content on this screen and we didn't have to worry about a poor experience thanks to the 5000 mAh battery here. We also liked that there was a 20-watt fast charger included with the phone and we could top it off quickly for our next session. Battery life also comes in handy while gaming. A word of advice here, the Moto G30 is not the best phone for gaming. There is only a mid-range Snapdragon 662 processor here, so this phone isn't an entertainment machine, but if the game isn't very graphic intensive, this phone will do just fine. Moving to the G10 Power now. The name suggests that this is a power-packed phone and we are here for it. For the price of 9,999 rupees, the G10 Power features a huge 6000 mAh battery and it is tough to kill this phone in a day. The G10 Power also gets a 6.51-inch HD Plus display like that of the G30, but it loses out on the faster refresh rate. There is also a downgrade in the camera section with the G10 Power getting a 48MP quad camera as well as an inferior Snapdragon 460 chip. We expect great things from these two devices, and they delivered in terms of software because there is a near stock Android experience on both G10 Power and G30. Motorola has continuously improved its smartphone portfolio, and the Moto G30 can go head-to-head with some great camera phones around the 11,000 price point. The Moto G10 Power is a good device as well, but apart from the 6000 mAh battery, we were not blown away with anything in this package. All in all, if you're shopping at this price point, the Moto G30 should be your pick out of these two phones.
Let's move on now to that one segment that all of you wait for every single week, and that is Qualcomm for the experiences you deserve. And today we're going to talk about something very interesting. Look, every one of us now believes we've become really good photographers. Look at the kind of images we are taking. And I'm not taking anything away from you. I'm saying you're becoming better. But you know, your phone is doing a lot of the heavy lifting with AI technology. Now, there's a reason why cameras have started a new war in the world of smartphones. A war for what? The highest megapixel count, the most number of lenses, so much more. And why not? On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is your smartphone's camera for you? I bet most of you would say 11 on 10. Now, cameras are so important that companies are now bundling multiple lenses at the back of the device for continual improvements on zoom, imaging quality, and so much more. So many features that they actually implement. There used to be a time when dual cameras were taken to be cutting-edge technology and a rage in the smartphone market, but now anything less than 4 is almost considered a crime. And not just numbers, camera performance has also massively improved over the years. We now have dedicated modes for things like low light or at night shooting high quality video on our phones and whatnot. It's a long list now. Our smartphones can now capture photos that rival those taken by professional DSLR cameras. Well, almost. In fact, the imaging quality across various capture modes is getting closer to that DSLR experience. In addition, we get a higher number of features and upgrades with our smartphone's AI camera in comparison to a DSLR camera. Now, getting the camera quality upgrades in a smartphone is so much easier, right? The device manufacturer can push a camera feature over the air, thus improving the overall quality and performance and add many new features. A lot of new camera features are being powered by artificial intelligence on your device. We've previously talked about AI on smartphones and how it enables a lot of automation and helps our devices get to know us better. But AI also has a very important role in camera and photography and videography on smartphones. AI helps us take the absolute best photos using our smartphones. We think we're doing the work, setting up the phone, adjusting the focus, the exposure for the subject. But it's actually the AI engine that is doing most of that heavy lifting here. AI cameras have multiple features to click the best possible shots. An AI camera uses a mode called scene recognition, which automatically recognizes what it's looking at. Point your camera towards a plant and it actually knows that's a plant. Pointed towards a building or a sunset or peaks laden with snow, the camera knows what it's looking at. Now, scene recognition automatically adjusts many things on the camera like exposure, lighting, white balance based on what the camera is looking at, and it actually then makes sure you get the best possible shot. Scene recognition is not the only thing that an AI camera does. Whenever we take, let's say, portrait shots, the background is blurred and the subject is kept in focus. AI helps in perfect edge detection while taking those very important portrait shots. Now, it also helps in face recognition to ensure that the right things are kept in focus and the background is not suddenly taking center stage. Some other features of an AI camera are beautification and object tracking. Beautification is when the camera automatically enhances skin tone to make it look smoother. I know people who don't take a photograph now without beautification enabled. Object tracking also very important when you're shooting video and the objects move really fast. For example, in a cricket match or maybe you're watching F1 racing and want to record the object that is actually in motion. Object tracking helps to keep the most important things in focus. all this artificial intelligence requires a dedicated neural engine inside the smartphone to give the camera the power it needs for the best results. Now, while you may be an incredibly good photographer, it's not just you that's doing the work, right? A combination of the AI engine, the algorithms, the image signal processor, along with the rest of the camera hardware like image sensor, lens, filters, all of this decides the overall performance of the camera. Qualcomm Technologies has enhanced camera technology on smartphones, and with the involvement and evolvement of artificial intelligence, camera performance has now gone to a whole new level. Qualcomm is focusing on improving the overall photography and videography experience on a smartphone. So let's hear from them how they are securing the future of AI and cameras and making sure you get the perfect shot. So first, let's go and talk to Pawan Baheti, Director, Engineering at Qualcomm. Pawan, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the show. Now, first question, what defines an overall experience and performance of a smartphone camera?
Hi Raji, the overall camera experience is defined by multiple things. First and foremost by the snapshot and video quality, where the ISP along with the camera hardware plays a significant role. Next is the performance indicators and metrics like camera responsiveness, the stability and the reliability. For example, can you trust what you're really seeing in the viewfinder? And the overall features enabled like HDR, zoom, low light photography, video and image stabilizations, and etc. etc.
Okay, and what role is played by AI in defining the camera experience? I mean, everything seems to be controlled now by AI.
That's a great question, Raji. AI is always working to improve your snapshot and video capture quality. Right? It's evolved from post-processing of pictures and videos that you used to take to improving the video and picture taking quality before the files even get saved to your SD cards now, to now being embedded as part of the real-time component of your camera processing pipeline by making the imaging process completely contextually aware. So as a result, the photographer or the user doesn't even need to worry about post-processing the pictures. Rather, the desired outcome of the photography or videography would be available at that moment itself.
Of course, Pawan, the most important question for you is, how does Snapdragon enable AI on smartphones?
So the Snapdragon-based smartphones carry an AI engine which can be tightly coupled with the camera processing pipeline, which is a Spectra ISP. And the combination of these two things can really make a lot of compelling experiences such as scene analysis, object detection, face beautification, auto adjustments of capture settings. So overall, right, AI is really enabling novice camera users to be able to take a lot of great photos and great videos.
Great, very interesting. Okay, so Pawan, how is AI utilized by smartphone cameras?
That's a great question, Rajiv, again. AI has moved from being gimmicky, such as sky replacements or drawing cat ears on human faces, to doing much more fundamental image quality functions such as object-specific pixel processing, real-time video noise reduction, low-light enhancements, automatic image retouching, and lots of such things. So the list is quite long on these features.
All right, Pawan, very, very interesting. Now, what is that one camera feature that excites you the most?
Well, I get most excited about the AI features that make every smartphone user into a great photographer. AI can now understand the scene, the contents of the scene, and in turn optimize each and every pixel of the objects that the pixels belong to. Right? For example, in a given scene, the grass can be made greener and sharper so that each blade can be seen very clearly, while at the same time the face of the person can be smoothened out, the sky can be made blue and less noisy, and the fabric of the clothing the person is wearing can be made much more sharper. Right? I mean, AI can make the food appear as yummy as the food really is. Right, so all of these can be done in an instant without the user even to think about it.
Joining me today is Shivam Ranjan, Marketing Head for Motorola India. Congratulations, you have quite a portfolio and a number of launches coming about. Moto G10 Power, Moto G30, and of course lots of other things happening also. So I'll start off with my first question. Tell us a little bit about all these new exciting products and what the consumer should expect.
Hi Rajiv. Really excited with the launch of these two great devices from Moto G family's 10th generation of devices. The G10 Power, in fact, is an India first device which comes with best-in-class features such as a massive 6000 mAh battery, a 48 megapixel quad camera setup, and a Snapdragon 460 processor. And with the G30, we again have a class-leading set of features including a 64 megapixel camera, a great 90 Hz display, and a Snapdragon 662 processor.
Now looks like these are very, very good handsets. Can you tell us a little bit more about the AI-based camera features enabled on these devices?
Both Moto G10 Power and Moto G30 actually come with class-leading camera systems in terms of hardware. The Moto G10 Power actually comes with a 48 megapixel quad camera setup and is perhaps the only one in the under 10K segment to do so. Similarly, the Moto G30 actually comes with a 64 megapixel quad camera setup, again the only one to do so in the under 11K segment. In addition to this great hardware, we've also used the AI capabilities of the Snapdragon chipsets which are available on both these devices to enhance the camera experience even further. Both the devices come with our latest UI for the camera, which is UI 3.0, and they come with great features such as auto smile capture, AI enabled scene detection, smart composition and spot color for videos and photos both. Now all these features make life convenient and fun for the consumers.
Very interesting. Now can you explain a bit more about this whole auto smile capture feature and what role is played by the processor in implementing it?
For example, when you have to take a picture with all your friends and family, and when all of them are smiling, the picture gets clicked automatically. That's auto smile capture for you.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show, and we look forward to more launches from you. So I started the show by saying that, you always get this feeling that there's something very momentous, something very big happening. Asus ROG 5 done. This is the preview. We will do a full review at some point later. Next week, again, something that comes around once in a blue moon. OnePlus next generation, the OnePlus 9 and the 9 Pro, all happening on the Cell Guru Show.